How's it going, guys? This is DexHowl, and today we're gonna do something a little different. There's no gameplay in this video. We're just gonna talk about the Division. Now, in the most recent state of the game, there were a lot of things mentioned about 1.7. Now, what I want to say specifically is that there's a lot of good stuff in here. I will say that much. They're trying to generate more interest in the game, and they're trying to make it so that players aren't getting bored of the content that they have or lack thereof. And I think that's the main reason why I'm pretty sure they have these global events. If you can see, they have these global events that happen once every month, and they only last for about a week, where that changes the game and makes it very, very different. So either players are stronger or weaker depending on different situations. Now you also have the classified gear sets. These classified gear sets are just another thing for you to grind for, and it's not necessarily something that players, I think personally, are gonna be all that enticed by, only because they've been working for over a year for max gear, and some of them already have it, and they've worked harder for it than anything else. And now, as a last ditch effort, Massive and Redstorm and whoever else, I don't know who's still making this game or who's even still working on it, hasn't switched over to Avatar, but these guys are putting out the last little bit of whatever, the last piece that they can squeeze out of a toothpaste tube about exactly what they can get from gamers, and try to just douse everything they can from whatever they can get from the Division. Now, honestly, there's a lot of stuff on here. The patch notes is very, very long, and I'm sure that the majority of you watching this video probably already read through them, but if you didn't, obviously you can just pause the video at any point in time and you can just read through it. But what I want to focus on mainly right now is seeker changes. Now, they say they put this in the known issues FAQ section. Why? Because people complain. Because they get beat. Now, you guys already know that personally I use my tactician set very offensively, and I use it more than any other set that I have. Just about every video I have actually put up is just about me using my tactician set. Since I made it since 1.4, I think it was, I've been using that tactician set, and I've probably put in more hours than any of my other characters combined from my starter character. And that was the tactician set is actually on the third character that I created, and now somehow it has surpassed the rest of my characters completely. It's crazy, but that's the set that works, and that's the play style that I wanted to use. But because of people that complain and whine that they can't actually defeat a part of the game, and they get upset because it's something that is, even though it's something that's part of the game, it's built in, and it's a skill that's been there since day one, everyone decided to call for a nerf. And because Massive wants to appease the majority, they have to nerf it. I don't understand that. Really I don't. But this is what we have left to, this is what we have left to look forward to in 1.7. Is anybody that uses Tactician's authority is going to be screwed. And that's not fun. That's stupid. It makes no sense for them to appease a majority of run and gunners, people that want to play Call of Duty but don't want to play Call of Duty. They just want to make every other game into Call of Duty instead of playing it themselves, because they can't actually defeat anybody. So they decide to play Division and just yell at everybody that doesn't do what they want, or doesn't just bow down to the way they want to play the game. So they decide that they're going to just yell at the developers and go through all these different changes and try to force people to make a game that they want, when the game was originally designed for a totally different purpose. Now that's over, that rant, I know I went left but for a second, but this is what I'm gonna read to you, what this says. I know you can see it on screen, but I just want to talk about it real quick. So Seeker changes. The Seeker is getting a rework, and they're changing the modded version, so we're not gonna have the airburst, the airburst, the whatever the gas one is called that nobody uses, whatever the gas one is called that nobody uses, and the cluster. So they're apparently changing those to different rework to the different mods, and then also the unmodded version. So if they keep them but lower the damage, again, that's pretty much no different than just you might as well get rid of it if that's what's gonna happen. But then you have airburst works more as area denial. Area denial, I don't even know what that means. It's an AoE. If you're really into RPGs, you guys know what area of effect damage is. AoE is meant to be just that, area of effect. What is this area denial crap that they're talking about right now? That makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. And it says it is not the idea to one-shot a tank build with that skill. Now, to one-shot a tank build, they have to actually stand there and let you actually one-shot them. There's no way to one-shot anybody. You can't one-shot a tank build with a Seeker mod unless they decided to build a tank without exotic damage resilience. Whose fault is that? That's not the tactician's fault. That's not the tactician's fault at all. That makes no sense for them to actually make this change to appease people. You can't appease one playstyle by nerfing the other playstyles that beat them time and time again. People need to learn that video games are made for you to adapt and actually play the game with some thought and strategy behind how you're going to play. If you're going to play a game that's mainly meant to be an RPG, you're going to have to learn strategy. It's not, again, it's not Call of Duty. You cannot go through this game the same way you do Call of Duty, where you just run and gun and that's it. It's just not going to work. Now, the next thing it says, obviously, is that it's going to be tested in the PTS. Now, what they're going to do in the PTS, I don't know. I have no idea, because I don't get to play the PTS. Personally, I just don't. I don't think I'd want to anyways, to be honest. It just doesn't seem like it'd be worth it. Like, now, okay, so back to the classified gear sets. All this stuff is gonna, it actually, at first, all this stuff made it seem like I was gonna be maybe playing this game a little bit more, because honestly, I had actually gotten bored of the game. There's no new content, no new anything. They're just fixing stuff that should have been fixed before the game was even released. That's what they've been doing for the last year. That's exactly what they've been doing for the last year, and none of that makes any sense. But we have stuck with the game for this long, and yet they still don't seem to understand that they can't bow down to the majority. The majority of players in this game want to play Call of Duty, but aren't good enough. To actually beat anybody that's been playing for hours and hours and hours on end. So they decide they're going to try and change a game that wasn't meant to be like Call of Duty into Call of Duty. That makes no sense to me whatsoever, but that's the kind of thing that's going on right now. And this is a prime example. Here's what the main reason I'm making this video is this here. this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back real quick and I'm gonna show you this. Okay, so you guys already know my buddy Konig. This is the guy from our Rogue Adventures with Konig, the series that we started just to go rogue, just to create some havoc, just to build up some more from the game. I don't even know, to be honest, what to call it. Like, we were just bored out of our minds with nothing to do in this game other than go rogue. There's nothing to do because there's no point in doing legendary mode, because you get exotics that you already have or that are worse than the ones that you already have. You get nothing. There's no guarantee of better gear for anything in this game. There's nothing there's no incentive to play this game anymore, to be honest. But I'm gonna read to you what his post says. What his post says is about the Seeker nerf. It's the same thing that I was just talking about. What he's doing here is it's a call to action for our tactician users. Now, I don't even know, honestly. Like, this makes no sense. I can't even continue this rant. Like, really, I can't. But I'm gonna read this and then we'll talk about it a little bit now. And obviously, I want you guys to respond to me. Respond to this in the comments below. Come to Reddit and blast whatever you want on this post. I'll put the link in the description and you guys can look at it. But anyway, let all TAC users come together for one final annoyance of almighty powerful Seeker. Let us all unite to wreak havoc over those run and gun players that would rather complain to game designers rather than jump out of the way. When he says jump out of the way, he means jump out of the way of airburst Seeker mines, because you actually can jump out of the way. It is very, very possible. It is very, very possible to jump out of the way of the Seeker mines. You don't have to get one shot, and it's very, very unlikely that you would get one shot anyways if you actually have a tank build. So again, back to the reference on Massive's BS thing, it makes no sense that a tank build is gonna get one shot by a Seeker mine if they actually do a tank build correctly. You can't do a tank build without EDR or exotic damage resilience. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, okay, moving on. Let them complain till they drop the game. See how we have been deemed too powerful by the almighty division god Hamish, aka Ham, Egg, and Cheese Samish. it's totally a joke. That's just funny. It really is. But let us TAC users have our last hurrah. Before 1.7, let's do it, guys. We have to actually use our TAC sets, destroy anybody that you come across in the dark zone. Just go out and do it. Play the game. Just cause havoc. Whether you play Last Stand, PvE, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Last Stand, Dark Zone, any kind of havoc you can raise with the Seeker mine, just do it, because you have a TAC set. Go for it. Just max out your mods, max out whatever you need to, grind your gear. It doesn't matter, because they're gonna change everything in the next month. It's gonna be crazy. But really, I hope you guys check out this post. Give us some feedback on what exactly it is that you guys think about this change that they're making. What do you think? It seems unfair that they're only listening to the DPS users? Does it make sense in an RPG that they're only listening to one playstyle? Let me know in the comments below. Come over to the Reddit and definitely comment. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that a link in the description. And don't forget, guys, stay rogue, and we'll see you next time.